She touched me and I flew. Touched my fault line and I flew. With her hand laid holy water on my scar and I flew on wings of glass. My body como a bird racing with the moon on a breath of air, flying out of range of pain, purpose, this thing we call vida, soaring into the blueness of memory, closing my eyes for the thud to come. I wake to this. Life inside my life. No wings, no glass, no moon. Only loteria, which means bingo, which means chance, which means play. So I play the cards into view. A card with me. Printed La Vida Cecilia, ragdoll, thumbing at the stitching in her head, forming the words in her vegetable tongue. What happened to me? Porque no puedo remember. I must remember. I was watching the news this morning and there was a series of interviews with housewives who have AIDS. And then I was watching the news and there was a special on housewives whose cats all have feline AIDS. And then I was watching the news and there was a mini documentary about housewives whose husbands all secretly have AIDS. And then Richard came home and he said, "You look stressed, are you all right?" And I said, "Richard, I'm going to the gym." And then I went to the gym and I instantly felt better. And then the other day my cab driver was rude to me and I said, "Take me to the gym." And then the mean girl at the grocery store judged me with her eyes and I said, "Actually, no, I won't be having those salted caramels, thank you. I'm going to the gym." And then the other day Richard called and said, "I'm gonna be home late tonight." And I said, "Well, Richard, I'm gonna be home late tonight too. I am going to the gym." I just love hitting things. I just love it. I want to hit everything with my fists and with my feet and with my eyes. And that is what will make me a very good actor when I play the role of Moonshine. Because I will stare at the audience members and I will hit them all with my eyes. Well, I took off on my bicycle about 5 p.m. on Wednesday from my dorm. I just kind of felt like going for a ride. So I went up to the top of Cactus Canyon, and I'm not super familiar with that area, so on the way back down, I didn't know where I was going. I was just sort of picking the way to go, which now just makes me think that God wanted me to find him, because there was no way I was going to go that way. So I was in some deep-ass sand, and I wanted to turn around, but for some reason I kept going. So I went along and there was this rock on the ground and I just drilled it. I went over the handlebars, ended up on the ground. So I got up and I was sort of just dusting myself off and I was looking around and I noticed something, which ended up to be Matt. And he was just lying there by a fence and I just thought he was a scarecrow. I was like, Halloween's coming up. I thought it was a Halloween gag, so I didn't think much of it. So I got my bike, walked it around the fence that was there. It was a buck-type fence. And got closer to him, and I noticed his hair. And that was a major key to me noticing it was a human being, was his hair. Because I just thought it was a dummy. Seriously, I even noticed the chest going up and down. I still thought it was a dummy. I just thought it was some kind of mechanism. But when I saw hair, I knew it was a human being. Oh, her insurance is terrible. Which is hilarious, because she's a social worker. Thank you for the help, US government. We're totally fucked. I should probably just kill myself. That was a joke. I'm not gonna kill myself. Today. A joke. God, you really do not get my charming and irreverent dark sense of humor. I was being dramatic. We're not fucked. I mean, her insurance is great in a lot of ways. They paid for her surgery and her 2 weeks of recovery here. It's just, when it comes to the chemo and the radiation and the medications, it's gonna be harder. But don't worry, you look so worried right now, Dawn. It's the way the world works. Shit happens and you figure it out. You just accept that life is kind of shitty. And maybe it'll change, or maybe it won't. And that's okay. Or maybe it's not okay. And maybe it's okay that it's not okay, you know? No. Of course you don't. You have like $7 gajillion, so if your mom dies, you can just buy a new one. Sorry, that was another attempt at dark humor, and it